2 Chronicles, chapter 25. Amaziah was a son of 25 years when he has reigned, and he has reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And the name of his mother is Jehoaddan of Jerusalem. And he does that which is right in the eyes of Yahweh, only not with a perfect heart. And it comes to pass, when the kingdom has been strong on him, that he slays his servants, those striking his father the king. And he has not put their sons to death, but did as is written in the law, in the scroll of Moses, whom Yahweh commanded, saying, Fathers do not die for sons, and sons do not die for fathers, but they each die for his own sin. And Amaziah gathers Judah, and appoints them according to the house of their fathers, for heads of the thousands, and for heads of the hundreds, for all Judah and Benjamin. And he inspects them from a son of 20 years and upward, and finds them to be 300,000 chosen ones, going forth to the host, holding spear and buckler. And he hires out of Israel 100,000 mighty men of valor, with 100 talents of silver. And a man of God has come to him, saying, O king, the host of Israel does not go with you, for Yahweh is not with Israel, all the sons of Ephraim. But if you are going, do it. Be strong for battle. God causes you to stumble before an enemy, for there is power in God to help, and to cause to stumble. And Amaziah says to the man of God, But what to do about the 100 talents that I have given to the troop of Israel? And the man of God says, Yahweh has more to give to you than this. And Amaziah separates them of the troop that has come to him from Ephraim, to go to their own place. And their anger burns mightily against Judah, and they return to their place in the heat of anger. And Amaziah has strengthened himself, and leads his people, and goes to the valley of Salt, and strikes 10,000 of the sons of Seir. And the sons of Judah have taken captive 10,000 alive, and they bring them to the top of the rock, and cast them from the top of the rock, and all of them have been broken. And the sons of the troop that Amaziah has sent back from going with him to battle, they rush against the cities of Judah, from Samaria even to Beth-Horon, and strike 3,000 of them, and seize much prey. And it comes to pass, after the coming in of Amaziah from striking the Edomites, that he brings in the gods of the sons of Seir, and establishes them for gods for himself, and bows himself before them, and he makes incense to them. And the anger of Yahweh burns against Amaziah, and he sends a prophet to him, and he says to him, Why have you sought the gods of the people that have not delivered their people out of your hand? And it comes to pass in his speaking to him, that he says to him, Have we appointed you for a counselor to the king? For you must cease. Why do they strike you? And the prophet ceases and says, I have known that God has counseled to destroy you, because you have done this, and have not listened to my counsel. And Amaziah, king of Judah, takes counsel, and sends to Joash, son of Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, Come, we look one another in the face. And Joash, king of Israel, sends to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, The thorn that is in Lebanon has sent to the cedar that is in Lebanon, saying, Give your daughter to my son for a wife. And a beast of the field that is in Lebanon passes by, and treads down the thorn. You have said, Behold, I have struck Edom, and your heart has lifted you up to boast. Now abide in your house. Why do you stir yourself up in evil, that you have fallen, and Judah with you? And Amaziah has not listened, for it is from God, in order to give them into their hand, because they have sought the gods of Edom. And Joash, king of Israel, goes up, and they look one another in the face, he and Amaziah, king of Judah, in Beth-Shemesh, that is Judah's. And Judah is struck before Israel, and they flee, each to his tents. And Joash, king of Israel, has caught Amaziah, king of Judah, son of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, in Beth-Shemesh, and brings him to Jerusalem, and breaks down in the wall of Jerusalem from the Gate of Ephraim to the corner gate 400 cubits, and takes all the gold and the silver, and all the vessels that are found in the house of God with Obed-Edom, and the treasures of the house of the king, and the sons of the pledges, and turns back to Samaria. And Amaziah, son of Joash, king of Judah, lives after the death of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, 15 years. And the rest of the matters of Amaziah, the first and the last, behold, are they not written on the scrolls of the kings of Judah and Israel? And from the time that Amaziah has turned aside from after Yahweh, they make a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he flees to Lachish, and they send after him to Lachish, and put him to death there, and lift him up on the horses, and bury him with his fathers in the city of Judah.